Hello guys! So, something people have been talking about recently, and something I generally take interest in, more so recently because of the advent of our beloved Wuwa, the sales charts. I want to talk about this just briefly, just about the trajectory, how everything's looking, and also move over to Google Trends to see how the game is doing in search results and how many people generally are looking for it. Now I will say up front, I know these sources arguably aren't like the most accurate. Like I'm sure there's room for error and things of that nature with these charts. I don't know fully the reliability. All I know is that they're widely used by people for analytics. So for better or worse, we're going to go with this as a general indication of how the games are doing. It's actually quite interesting to see, and it's very interesting to see June's revenue for Wuwa right now. A bit sad to see certain things, but they're kind of inevitable with Hoyo just having the lion's share of the market right now. Of course, we've got Honkai at the top, Genshin. These are the Chinese markets. However, these are, I believe, hover over it, worldwide and Japan. Yeah, global and Japan. So you could look at these here. Genshin is still doing insanely well, which frankly, I'll be honest, it's still kind of a shame. I mean, can I be very honest with everyone? I wasn't expecting it to do quite as well in June. June is the month I left the game, and in my eyes for good reason. I think part of it though, Sijuin has Farina on it. Well, it's Farina and Sijuin in the second half of the patch, which I really think is helping considerably. Clorand was a cool character. I did pull her actually before leaving the game, and funnily enough, my luck was insane. It's like they really knew I was about to leave and wanted to keep me, because I got her in like 10 pulls from my last 5-star, and I got her weapon in about like 10 pulls from my last 5-star weapon, like that quickly, that easily. I think I got Skyward Spine in like 5 just before it too. It was like insane. However, it still surprises me given the patch to me felt very dry before I left, honestly. I just didn't feel like there was a whole lot going on aside from the story quest. I mean, we had Danesliv's quest, I guess that really pulled a lot of people in. I don't know, it wasn't really doing it for me, and it was in many ways the final straw. It's just part of the course of what the game has been, and plus, of course, having Wuwa out was a big deal. But speaking of Wuthering Waves, on the other hand, Chinese market is doing better than it was in May, and we're seeing a massive increase globally now in June. And I want to add as well, I mean, Changli is coming out in July, so I guess we'll see how it compares then. But Changli is hyped, and arguably more so than Jinxie for a lot of people. Like, I see a lot of people saying, you know, they're skipping, I'm going to get Changli. Changli's just it, you know? So it remains to be seen, but I mean, people that were, you know, decrying the game and saying that it was just going to disappear soon, you know, it's not going to go anywhere, people are going to drop off like flies. I don't know what you're smoking, or what you were smoking. I mean, I didn't have that prediction at all, because if you make a good game, people are going to want to play it. And as I've said before, filling in the blanks that Genshin is leaving is only going to have them give Kuro the capability to siphon players from Genshin and Hoyo over to them, and they're succeeding. They have succeeded in many cases, including myself. So, yeah, Honkai, of course, I can't speak for too much. I know people still really enjoy that game. Genshin, of course, is still raking it in, both in China and globally. Although, actually, if we look at global and CN, look at that. Interesting. I guess the Chinese audience just aren't quite as sold yet. However, May's revenue, I've got to say, if you guys remember, this game came out around the end of May, and it's still, even in like just the Chinese market here, did really well, and globally. Still very impressive results that came from like the tail end of May when it first came out, and it's got a massive increase. I'm really eager to see what happens now in July. Of course, like I say, we got Changli coming, very hyped. I am probably getting her. I told you guys before, I'm like a light, low spender. I avoid getting the packs. Not that I can't. I'm financially stable, I'm fine. There's no problems in that regard, but I would kind of encourage you guys to do the same, really. Like, if you can avoid spending and just get everything they give you first in the game, I think that's generally best, but I ain't gonna tell you guys what to do. And of course, I want to see the game well supported, so... But my position is that I'd probably be paying for Channel E just to like close the gap if I don't have enough Astrite to make sure I get it. And I think a lot of people are going to be in the same boat. It's going to be interesting to see. But beyond this, we've also got... I want to have a look, just while we're on the subject really, to have a look at Google Trends comparing the big three, the top players right now. Which is interesting. I don't usually look at it. We're on YouTube search right now, so it's just interesting to see worldwide results. Of course, we've got red for Genshin, blue for Wuthering Waves, yellow for Honkai. Honkai's dipping off, surprisingly, although, to be fair, if we add in HSR separately, just as a search term, in the green, it's still not any better, really. This is the past 30 days worldwide. If we go 90, we get, obviously, a broader view. You can see Wuthering Waves coming up to release really spiked. It's tapered down a bit, it's gone out a bit. I believe 20th of June is exactly when the patch came out, when 1.1 is out. I'm going down a little bit more now. Kind of the inevitable trajectory. HSR and Honkai are kind of veering downwards right now. I'm not sure when it usually gets its updates. You guys know I don't play Honkai, so... But if we just look at these, and even, you know, outside of YouTube searches, let's have a look at 90-day YouTube searches too. Unfortunately, I'm going to say unfortunately, because I just don't think it deserves it. Genshin's still taking the hot spot here. These two are neck and neck right now, in terms of like YouTube searches and general interest there. But if you go web searching, more broad look at things. God, that spike in Wuwa is kind of crazy. I mean, that is over the past 90 days. Like, if we go, I guess, 5 years... Of course, Genshin is just popping off and Honkai wasn't out then, and nor was Wuwa, so... Genshin had a massive spike during COVID, understandably. Like, it was just super hot at the time. People talk about the COVID buff that Genshin had. I think this lends credence to it, and we all knew this anyway. Like, any game in that time period would have had a massive buff. Genshin's benefited from that for a long time, I feel, with keeping a lot of people attached over the years. But past 30 days, general web searches, kind of the similar results the past 90 days on Google Trends and what people are generally looking into. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to see things change in terms of, well, I'd like to see, honestly, Wuthering Waves topping one of these Hoyo games, frankly. I mean, we'll see how Zenless does. That comes out in a few days, which, by the way, guys, I will be streaming Zenless Zero on the 4th. I've already preloaded it. I know I said I was on the fence about it, and I know a lot of people don't care about Zenless or aren't interested themselves. But I think if you're interested in my content, maybe all the more reason for you just to watch my stream if you don't plan to play it, and we'll see what we think. Be honest about it, be fair about it, which I am going to be fair. I'm not going to go in with negativities in mind and whatnot, so... That'll be it for this video, guys, which is just a brief overview. I've never done really a revenue look at. Like I said, it's not really something that typically interests me personally. The reason it more so interests me is because Wuthering Waves is a big deal to me. I really want to see it succeed and do well, and so far it's just doing better and better, it looks like. I mean, again, May is kind of more of a vertical slice of information here in the metrics for like earnings because it came out late May. However, the trajectory is looking good. It looks like they're doing really well. I'm very happy to see it. So let me know what you guys think below. And yeah, I'll catch you later.